Good day, fellow modelers. Today I have some video of my new Freewing twin 64mm ducted fan F14 Tomcat. I will be showing you some modifications I made to the model to fix a glaring mistake and to install my FPV system. The model as received from Motion RC has a mistake in the angle that the all-flying horizontal tails are mounted to the fuselage. This may have been done to make manufacturing easier, but it was not hard to change. In the graphic on the left, you can see that the horizontal tails are mounted parallel to the ground. The graphic on the right shows how they should have been mounted to replicate the full-scale aircraft. The tails on the aircraft are mounted at a 3.5-degree downward angle. Since the plastic and aluminum fittings for the horizontal tail pivot are just embedded in the foam fuselage, I simply pushed down on the pivot hard to yield the foam. I designed and 3D printed a tool that slipped over the tail pivot to set the proper angle, and then filled the void on the upper part of the foam with epoxy, injecting the epoxy into the gap with a plastic syringe. Here you can see the result. This F14 was one of the more challenging models to install my digital FPV system. The cockpit is narrow and not very tall. I used my lowest profile and smallest camera universal modular PV system. The system is made up of a CADDX Vista VTX nano digital camera and a 180-degree 9-gram servo. As you will see in the coming video, I added some depth to the cockpit with some canopy frames, mirrors, and decals to the instrument panel. The front plastic was removed from the canopy not only for better vision, but to help cool the FPV system and the flight battery. This first FPV video was only my second flight with the model. The first flight, flown line of sight, proved to be such an uneventful flight in all aspects that I decided to make the second flight by FPV. I did sweep the wings from fully forward to fully aft on this flight to see if there were any changes to the trim of the aircraft. A slight nose-down moment was noted when moving the wings to the mid position, but the model resumed trim flight with the wings fully aft. Vision out the front is very good with the plastic removed, but the clarity looking out the side is a bit cloudy. I will soon try and improve that with my typical coating of floor polish. My first landing FPV was done with only half flap, just as I had done with the first line of sight flight. I noticed no change in trim of the aircraft with half flaps deployed. I did a credible job of getting her down without too much drama, though I still managed to find a pretty lumpy part of the field. This next split screen sequence was of my second FPV flight that same day. Jay of Jay's RC Garage filmed the from ground video with his iPhone. I will leave the original sound and narrative for you to hear.
Yeah, it's a little nose heavy with this pack. I could retrim it, but I don't think I'm going to. Yeah. Gear her up, right? Yeah, these are 5,000. control it right in front of you.
This landing was done with full flap deflection, and again I noticed no change in trim of the aircraft. It is possible that the correct dihedral in the horizontal tail was responsible for this. The landing was at least as good as my first FPV one. More as it happens. Thanks for watching.